South Beach's transformation began in 1913 when John Collins built the first bridge connecting Miami to the beaches. Of course, that is now replaced by the Venetian Causeway. South Beach was devastated by a hurricane in 1926, but rebounded and evolved into one of Miami's wealthiest and most high-profile districts. And on today's walking tour, we're going to be doing a complete walk down Collins Avenue and exploring just what South Beach has to offer. Now, I would like to note that today is August 13th, 2025. This is what I would like to call off-peak season in Miami. Oftentimes what you'll find down here is a relative seasonality of things. After the holidays, particularly after New Year's and Christmas and Hanukkah, this place fills up. And that's when all the snowbirds from New England, New York, and the like, and even in Canada, they come down to South Florida to escape the frigid cold weather and spend their winters in the balmy 75 degrees of Miami, Florida. South Beach is known for its entertainment and culture. It is renowned for its nightlife, shopping and dining, attracting visitors from around the world. It's also famed for its Art Deco architecture, especially along Ocean Drive, making it a draw for design enthusiasts and architecture enthusiasts around the world. One of my favorite things to do in South Beach is visit and travel here during the Art Deco week. They have different events. There's amazing food that you can get outside. You could even take tours that are free to learn a little bit about the Art Deco architecture, what really makes South Beach, particular Ocean Drive, really what it is. It's a really, really great place. Right now we're standing outside of the Bass Art Museum. This is Collins Avenue, or Florida's A1A. You'll also see the bus stop here. You can get the 100 bus to downtown Miami. The 150 bus will be the Airport Express bus, and the 14 will bring you to the Omni. However, if you don't want to pay money for the bus, you could just wait for the free trolley. The Miami Beach trolley will take you from South Beach all the way up through Mid Beach and even North Beach, Miami. So it's pretty convenient if you're a traveler, if you're a visitor, and you're on a budget. It's pretty easy to get around here. The only thing is that there's no trains in South Beach. This is now 21st Street. You have the Joe and the Juice on the right. You have the Eden Gallery across the street. And then this is looking back northbound. Just keep in mind that Collins Avenue is right on the water. So if you're staying at a hotel or a motel on Collins, more than likely it is going to be right on the ocean, which is great. You'll see a lot of these robots all over Miami. These started to be around Brickell as well as downtown Miami, but now you're starting to see them more often in South Beach too. So instead of having the food delivery bicycle guys, here in Miami you have food delivery robots. Here you can see some of the beauty of the Art Deco buildings. This is the CVS that's on the corner of Collins Avenue and 20th Street. If you were to make a right here, this will bring you all the way down by the Miami Beach Convention Center, where they have a lot of events and things like that going on. A few years ago, that is where I attended the Miami Bitcoin Conference. I believe this was 2022. They had the Bitcoin conference there. As of doing the video, I think Bitcoin just hit over $123,000 per one Bitcoin. I remember trading Bitcoin in college and watching the first time Bitcoin hit over $1,000. So it's definitely come a long way. Miami, Florida in general is well known to be very receptive to technology and cryptocurrencies. The state and local government down here has been very, very accommodative to businesses. There's a really good video on YouTube by Bloomberg. It's called The Wall Street South. After the pandemic, lots of financial institutions, hedge funds, investment banks, family offices, and the like have started to move down here to South Florida, particularly in Palm Beach and Brickell, with many speculating that Miami, Florida is going to be the new Wall Street, which I have a few overall thoughts about. This is now 19th Street and Collins. In my opinion, I don't think you'll ever see, in terms of just the overall business environment, such as Wall Street, and I'm talking about, you know, the major investment banks, private equity firms, and the like, I always think the lion's share of that activity is going to be in New York. It just is. But that doesn't mean you can't have satellite locations, and I think the largest growing satellite location to New York City for the finance community is South Florida, right? Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. But again, I really want to stress, if you're just starting out your career on the street, I would still highly advise and recommend that you start out your career in New York City, particularly if you're going into investment banking. That is where all the large players are still. But maybe if you do 2 to 3 years as an analyst in New York City and you get a really good associate job, or maybe in 7 years you get a nice director job, well, then you could go down to Miami or Palm Beach for maybe a little bit better quality of life. So I don't agree with the narrative. There's always this argument, right, between theoretically what is better. Is New York better or is Miami better? I think you have both, right? I live in both New York City and Miami, and I would never just choose one or the other. I would always pick both because I think there's massive, massive opportunities in both places. Here you can see some more beautiful Art Deco buildings here. This is now crossing southbound on 18th Street. This is an exciting new development here. This is the Rosewood Hotel and Developments. Or I should say the Rosewood Hotel and Residences. And they're going to keep the existing original Art Deco facade. really like a lot of the outdoor dining at a lot of these small motels and hotels all along Collins. It's really quite nice. What I would suggest is, if you're looking to travel to Miami on a budget, it's probably best to come during the off-peak season, which is right now. But if you come in January or February, you're probably going to pay the highest prices, because that's when everybody comes down from New York and Boston and Toronto, Canada, and really drives up the prices for rentals. Essentially, you're paying the snowbird pricing. See more beautiful Art Deco buildings across the street. Now, in terms of landmarks and activities, the iconic neighborhood of South Beach includes South Point, or SoFi, where you have the beautiful South Point Park. You also have the West Avenue corridor. If you're looking for some really nice green spaces here, you can check out Loomis Park as well as South Point Park. South Point Park is one of my favorite places in all of Miami. It is unbelievable. If you're a traveler, if you're a visitor here, you've got to spend at least a day exploring South Point Park, but specifically going to South Point Park at sunset. You see this unbelievable sunset overlooking downtown Miami and Fisher Island, which is one of the most exclusive and wealthy islands in the United States. So write that down if you are thinking of traveling to South Florida. Make sure you check out South Point Park. If you want to plan your trip around some notable festivals, you could come during the Art Basel Festival, the Food and Wine Festival of Miami, as well as Miami's Fashion Week. Another one that I would mention is the one and only Art Deco Week. So there's a lot of different themed weeks where you can come and enjoy Miami. Art Basel, Art Deco Week, the Miami Wine and Food Festival, as well as, of course, Miami's Fashion Week. Usually during Art Basel, a lot of the activity down here is in Wynwood, Miami, which is really quite nice. This is a hookah lounge. This is now 17th Street. Across the street you'll have the Gale Hotel. It's a really beautiful building. Oh, this is the Collins Express. So we were just talking about this. That is the trolley. So if you're looking to save a little money and you don't want to pay for the bus, you could always just jump on the Miami Beach trolley. more stunning Art Deco architecture here, as well as some really nice outdoor seating. It's really awesome tropical vibe. This is the San Juan. Now, if you're looking for some interesting facts in terms of the demographics and income breakdowns in South Beach, I just want to preface this by saying this is the most recent updated 2025 data from August 2025. In terms of the overall population, there's about 81,319 residents in South Beach. The median household income here in South Beach is $188,000, with the average household income being a whopping $253,000. Per capita income is $81,625, while the overall poverty rate for South Beach comes in at 5.36%. The median age in this community is 42.4 years old, and the racial mix-up is predominantly white, being about 98% white. South Beach, generally speaking, skews affluent and mature, with median incomes far above the state and national averages. There's also an extremely high rate of home ownership here, about 98%. This is Rosetta. It's like an Italian bakery. This is now Lincoln Road, which is very famous for being an outdoor shopping center in a mall. Beautiful palms here. And then across the street, you have the Ritz-Carlton. We'll walk down by Ocean Drive, as well as Espanola Way. Now, just like with any major city or place, there's its upsides and then there's its downsides. And I would say more generally, when talking about South Florida. Oh, here's another one of those food delivery robots. Anyway, when talking about South Florida, a lot of people moved down here during the pandemic. South Florida, or Florida as a state, but specifically South Florida, Miami-Dade and Broward County, which created this massive economic boom down here, but it wasn't all positive. Obviously, with supply and demand, with so many people moving down here, it has absolutely made real estate prices skyrocket. The good news is you're starting to see prices kind of come back down to earth, and I would say like a mean reversion trade, if you will. The problem with that, what a lot of people are experiencing is, yeah, maybe you bought a place in 2022 or 2023 down here, and your home value may have gone up $200,000 or $300,000. That may feel good, but the problem is your expenses have really blown out and gone up as well, such as your property taxes, as well as your insurance. I mean, my homeowner's insurance down here, I just got the renewal for next year, and I just came in at $5,000 even, if you could believe that. So having such a high expense in terms of the insurance, but also such high property taxes, it's almost made living in a place like South Florida turn into the exact places a lot of these people are escaping, such as New York, Silicon Valley, San Francisco. It's true that the state of Florida doesn't have state income taxes, but with the way things have been going with people purchasing property down here, property taxes have really blown out. It's funny, if you look on Zillow or these other platforms, oftentimes what I like to do is look at the most recent sales transactions, and oftentimes you'll find a home where it was just sold in 2025, but the last time it was sold was in the year 2002 or 2003. The problem is their property taxes when they bought it in 2003, some of them were paying like $700, and with the homestead exemption they've locked that in. But when you buy the house, well, your assessment is assessed at the new value, the new purchase price. So many people are seeing their property taxes increase from when they purchased the property by 600, 700%, right? It's very possible that the previous owner was paying $750 to $1,000 for their property taxes, and now the following year you're going to get hit with an $8,000 bill. So just keep that in mind when you're purchasing property down here. The two things I would do the most diligence on is what your homeowner's insurance is going to be, because that is very expensive, as well as make sure that you calculate what your property taxes are going to be. Okay, we are coming up on Espanola Way, but I first want to take a little bit of a detour and check out Ocean Drive. Another quick tip for all of those who may be watching this video thinking that they want to purchase in a condo down here. You also really have to do your due diligence, because you may see a really nice unit in a condo on the beach for a few $100,000, and you want to move here to retire and keep your expenses low. But you got to do the due diligence and really look at the financials of the building, because a lot of them, right, not to scare anybody, but a lot of these buildings are about to get hit with extreme special assessments, right? A lot of condos and HOAs have been putting off doing necessary work to keep the property up with code. And now, with all of these new rules, regulations, and laws that were put into place after the horrible tragedy of the Surfside collapse, these condos are forced to do the necessary work to be in accordance with the law, and they could get hit with a $500,000 or $1 million assessment. Just really depends. And when that happens, well, guess what? Well, your monthly HOA fees, your common charges, are set to explode as well. This has been a pretty big problem here in South Florida, so much so that real estate developers have been kind of taking advantage of this. Essentially, they'll find buildings that are coming up on these monster special assessments. Generally tend to be older buildings in Miami, knowing that the vast majority of residents in that building cannot afford to pay the assessment. The developers will just offer a buyout opportunity. Well, they'll purchase the entire condominium, make everybody move out, in which case they'll just tear down the property and build something new. If you structure a lot of these deals, oftentimes it comes down to the fact that the land that sits underneath a lot of these older condo buildings are worth more than the actual existing building itself. So they would much rather acquire the entire building, knock it down, and build something newer that is up to code to comply with the new regulations due to the Surfside collapse. So it's a great place to live down here, but we're in an interesting transitional period. So it's very, very important that you do your diligence, okay? Really, really get a good real estate attorney to read into those condo docs, get all of the necessary financials, and make sure that the property that you're looking at is not going to come up on some sort of crazy special assessment to blow out your common charges. So just a little bit of a tip there. All right, my friends, we are now about to turn right on the very famous Ocean Drive, where you'll also see the Art Deco Welcome Center. You're going to see some of the most stunning Art Deco buildings here in a moment. Ocean Drive has wonderful nightlife. We're going to see the Betsy Ross, as well as the famous Betsy Orb. But every time I come back down to South Florida, I just feel so much more relaxed. It's such a great break from being in New York City with all the hustle and bustle to be able to spend a few weeks down here and get a really nice break. Coming up on our right, you're going to have the beautiful Betsy Ross. Oftentimes I'll come to the Starbucks, read the paper, grab a coffee, and overlook the water. But my favorite coffee shop in all of Florida is Cachito Coffee and Bakery. They have a great location in North Beach. All right, and here we are. The beautiful Betsy Ross. And there's that Starbucks right on the boardwalk there. If you're big into outdoor activities, cycling, running, roller skating, you really can't get a better place than this. The infrastructure is really great for it. The only thing I'm in disagreement with is Miami opened up Ocean Drive to vehicles again, and I think that's just was a terrible thing to do. You can see here, vehicles can now drive directly down Ocean Drive, which kind of sucks because it was so nice to be able to walk in the middle of the street, enjoy all the beautiful Art Deco buildings without having to worry about, weaving in and out of vehicles, but that's just me. Here it says they have live music in the evenings from 10 to 11 p.m. You'd probably get a really good price on a hotel right now, being that it's the middle of August. As I said, if you're planning your trip to Miami and you don't mind the high heat and humidity, if you come now, you're going to have the entire South Beach to yourself. You'll have the entire beach to yourself, because once snowbird season hits, it's going to be packed. All right, check this out. Just a stunning, stunning Art Deco building here. You really have to experience it at night. Coming up on 14th Street as well. This is where they have public restrooms. It's always good to know. Public restrooms right here on 14th and Collins. This is a good Cuban restaurant, Havana. This is the Marriott Vacation Club. And then while you're dining, you have these stunning views of all the palm trees, and you're right on the water, right on the ocean. also going to be filming a walking tour of downtown Miami, as there are tons of new developments going up. We finally have the new Waldorf Astoria that is now several stories above ground now. This is the Winter Haven. Just look at that beautiful, beautiful Art Deco facade. You have direct beach access. We'll hit the beach real quick and then we'll double back and go to Espanola Way. My gosh, it's just a picture perfect day. Curious to see if the water is going to be rough today or if it's going to be rather flat. Doesn't seem super windy out. Wow. One of the things you'll notice about the beaches in South Beach are that the sand, you have this big depth in the beach. And up here the sand is very hard. As you can see this gentleman running here. It's perfect conditions for running. It's not soft sand up here, but the further you go down towards the ocean, the sand gets a little bit softer. But look at how expansive this is. And looking down here, this is the skyline of the South of 5th neighborhood. Wow, there actually seems to be a lot of people at the beach today. And of course, if you look closely, you can see all the way out to South Point Pier. And the water is extremely blue. We'll go ahead and head back towards Ocean Drive. And then finally Espanola Way. It is hot. I'm filming this in 92-degree heat. Bright sun. That's why many people think that it's best to come to Miami in the winter, because it's only really 75 degrees every day. It's actually not too punishingly hot, and you have very low humidity. Okay, we're back at the 14th Street public restrooms, as well as the wash-off station. That's the Miami Beach Police Department making their patrols. This would be amazing to live down here after work, go on a nice bike ride, get some exercise in, running, jogging. It's an amazing quality of life. Is what I always say. Very relaxing, laid back, so peaceful. Okay, and here we are back on Ocean Drive. You can see that now that the vehicles are allowed down here, it's a little bit cumbersome for the tourists. I don't know why they did that. I think it's so much better without any cars. And of course, it is 6:10 p.m. That means the sun is starting to set. So as we head back towards Collins Avenue, facing east, you're going to have the sun right in your face. Oh, this is a cool shot of the Betsy Ross, the Betsy Orb. We're now back on Collins, where we will make a right and head back uptown. This way we'll get the sun out of our eyes just a little bit. Here you can see more Art Deco buildings, but the one on the left has been redeveloped into more of a modernist style, to say the least. Hopefully they'll be able to keep a lot of the Art Deco intact. Like this one you see is all abandoned. Hopefully, whoever buys it and renovates it will keep it in tune with the original Art Deco flair of South Beach. One can only hope. We'll see. And of course, South Beach and Miami are known for their great luxury vehicles. I think it's a Lamborghini. Looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? A lot of people drive sports cars around here, and I think it's because the weather is permitting, right? Also, it's very flat land. This is the Ocean Drive Plaza again. This is now Espanola Way. Lots of great places to eat, nightlife spots down here, really the whole gambit. It's funny, you'll notice in the summer how there's not a lot of people dining outside in Miami, but in New York, that's when everybody wants to dine outside. Just because it's too hot and humid to dine outside in Miami. And here we have it, Espanola Way. I really like this Spanish style architecture. Espanola Way right off of Washington Avenue has amazing nightlife, great restaurants. I would highly suggest coming here on like a Friday or Saturday night, as the nightlife here is really, really great. All the restaurants and bars really start to get crowded right around 8:30. I've eaten at this restaurant before. It's very, very good. It's an Italian restaurant. This is where Italians go for Italian. Very cool. All right, everyone, if you enjoyed that walking tour of South Beach, Miami, Florida, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, we will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.